Guys, welcome back to my channel. So now that it is officially the holiday season, I decided to make a video on my tips and tricks of how to be able to enjoy the entire holiday season without gaining all of that holiday weight. Because if you're like me, I pretty much start baking before the holiday season, if I'm completely honest. I start baking in like September, and because of all the fall food and fall yumminess that can happen. And yeah, I pretty much go strong with the season's eating from September all the way until the new year. So I wanted to make a video about how to be able to enjoy all of your seasonal favorites and still feel like you're getting to participate while at the same time avoiding all of that unwanted holiday weight gain. So if you're new to my channel and you're unfamiliar with my story, I spent years obese. It's hard to even remember what it was like being almost 200 pounds. I am a little person, I'm 5'3", and my weight teetered for a long time between 189 and 194 pounds. And I know what it's like to struggle with weight, but I was able to lose 70 pounds without counting calories on a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet. So if you want to know more about my journey and exactly what I did to lose weight, make sure you explore my channel. I have loads of videos on how I did, what I did, lots of meals, all sorts of stuff. You can also explore my website at planifulkiki.com, and make sure you follow me on Instagram because I post tons of inspiration there. I'm always posting new recipes, all sorts of stuff. So make sure you check me out there. But yeah, I lost 70 pounds and I have been able to keep it off for several years now. And one of the things that needed to change was the hardcore holiday eating that I was used to doing all season long. And like I said, my holiday eating extended beyond the November, December months. It really started in September when I would start enjoying more calorie-rich and decadent meals and desserts. So I had to find ways to still feel like I was getting to enjoy fall and leading into the holiday season without putting on the 7 to 10 pounds I was used to putting on every year. All right, so I really have 5 major tips to help you be able to, like I said, enjoy the holiday season without adding on those unwanted pounds. I am like anybody else. I love all the goodies. I love all the rich, decadent holiday food. I love all the eats. I love all the feels. So after I had lost 70 pounds and was now faced with the reality of needing to maintain my weight, I had gotten into a rhythm in my daily life of how to easily maintain my weight. But when my first holiday season came around after having lost all of the weight, I did have a lot of anxiety because I knew every year I would gain weight and I didn't know how it was going to go for me. So I came up with a simple strategy to keep things light and fun and still be able to enjoy everything with hopefully maintaining my weight, if not just drastically reducing the amount of weight I could possibly gain. So tip number 1 is to make a list. Make a list of your favorite holiday meals, make a list. And in my case, I also made a list of all of my favorite fall foods that I like to enjoy the whole fall season. I don't know if you're like me, but like I said, as soon as September hits, especially here in the mountains of Colorado where it's cooler and fall sets in early, I immediately start thinking cinnamon rolls, waffles, pancakes, pumpkin and everything, rich, creamy soups and stews. So I started by making a list, and this is what I recommend you do, is make a list of all your favorite foods that you absolutely love about this season, because part of what makes the holiday season so magical is all of the yummy food. So once I had a list of all of my favorite foods, and my list is not like 3 items long, it's 14 plus another 8. This is for my blog post I'm writing on this that will be up on my website, but I am not joking around when it comes to food and enjoying certain meals. But I had things like, okay, a must is mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, apple pie, pumpkin pie, a cheese ball, things that are a must during the holidays. And then for fall, I just love anything to do with cinnamon rolls, pancakes, waffles, all of that stuff. So once you have a list made, then you want to move to step 2. And step 2 is figure out how to clean these meals up. Now, if you're plant-based like I am, I was faced with the task of converting all of my favorites to some plant-based version or finding a plant-based alternative that would satisfy my cravings for those specific foods. So I was taking a look at all of my favorite foods like pancakes and waffles and figuring out how I could, one, make them plant-based and two, reduce the calories in them. So pretty quickly, just removing the eggs and butter from recipes cuts out the majority of the fat and calories. And if a recipe called for oil, I would just swap the oil for applesauce. So I found a lot of effective ways to clean up my recipes so that they wouldn't be so fattening and calorie dense. That alone, guys, is gonna make all of the difference. If you can just eat cleaned up versions of your favorite foods, you really won't have to worry much, if at all, about gaining weight during the holiday season. Now, I have tons and tons of free recipes on my website. You guys can check it out. There's a whole holiday category, but really take a look at all of the categories because every single recipe I put up on my website are recipes that I eat and are geared towards maintaining a healthy weight and weight loss. So if you love waffles and pancakes, I've got you covered. I've got all sorts of creamy fall soups on there. I've got all sorts of holiday meals as well. I've got you covered for green bean casserole, mashed potatoes and gravy. It's all there, so make sure you check it out. Really use my website as a resource. You can also check out my cookbooks that I have available. And once you've effectively cleaned up your recipes, make sure you're using the 50-50 plate building method. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this plate building method, then make sure you check out the video I'll link for you below on calorie density. But this is where you fill half your plate full of non-starchy vegetables and the other half full of starch. This was one of the major tools I used to help me lose 70 pounds and keep it off. You're basically eating loads of veggies before you start in on the higher calorie dense side of your plate. And what you're doing is you're filling up on vegetables that are full of water and fiber and nutrition so that when you move to the higher calorie dense side of your plate, it helps keep you fuller, longer, and more satisfied, and it naturally reduces the overall caloric density of your meal. And you can join me on Instagram at the beginning of every month where High Carb Hannah and I host an Eat Your Veg challenge to help you guys get excited and get going with eating your 50-50 plate. But this is a really great way to eat all the time, but especially when you're eating more calorically dense meals. So once I figured out how to clean up all of these recipes, I basically scheduled them in because even eating these cleaned up versions, they're gonna be a little higher in calorie density than what I'm used to eating. So I just made a plan, and this is the plan I stick to in my day-to-day life. This is how I've been able to maintain my weight long-term, is that I eat a very simple, wholesome diet all week long. It's repetitive. I keep it as easy as possible because during the week I'm busy and I don't really have a whole lot of time to care much about how special my meal is. But when the weekend comes, I want to wake up on Saturday and Sunday morning and have waffles or pancakes. I want to be a little more intentional about making a special meal for lunch or dinner. So what I did and continue to do, and I do this all during the holiday season, is I continue to eat healthy and wholesome and simple all week long. And then on the weekend, I plan for and eat these special seasonal meals that I want to enjoy. And I enjoy them to the fullest on the weekend and then get back to business as usual during the week. Now, these seasonal favorites are still gonna be extremely healthy and so much lower in fat and calories than the regular junky fat-filled versions of these would be, but I don't need to be eating cinnamon rolls every night of the week for 4 months. But you get it. I mean, I could survive for sure, but I am a mommy and I need to set a good example. So that is step number 3. Stick to simplicity during the week and then experience all the holiday magic on the weekend. And it's also less cooking. When you focus on eating simple and wholesome all during the week, then you can put more thought and energy into your weekend food and really be intentional and experience it and enjoy it to the fullest. And if you end up checking out my 28-day meal plans, I have the entire week laid out for you guys. I have shopping lists in there. I go over your prep day and how to prep for the week so that all you're doing is throwing your meals together and heating them up. Because contrary to popular belief, I don't love cooking. I don't love spending a ton of time in the kitchen. So step 4 may catch you by surprise. So step 4 is to make room for your non-negotiables. Now, what I mean by this is that for every individual and in every family, there's going to be a few non-negotiable meals or desserts that just have to be a part of the holidays, and they really cannot be cleaned up effectively. So for me and my family, we have to have a traditional apple pie with crumble topping at Thanksgiving. It's non-negotiable. My husband and children really truly believe that they'll absolutely die without it. I of course make it plant-based, but yes, there are other ways to make apple pies that wouldn't involve oil and all that. But like I said, every family has their list of non-negotiables. This is on my family's list. Has to be a traditional apple pie. I make it plant-based, but it is full of fat and full of calories. At Christmas, our non-negotiable is Christmas cookies. Again, I can't remove the vegan butter or the vegan oil, and then there's tons of powdered sugar frosting that happens, but it is on our list of non-negotiables. If you don't need these things, then you are a stronger person than I am. So in step 4, this is where things can get a little sticky. I used to make apple pie from September through the end of November, which meant I was eating apple pie weekly, which is why I was never really surprised why I ended up being 10 pounds heavier every time the new year rolled around. As soon as December would hit, we'd make Christmas cookies and all sorts of cookies, and we'd have them all December long. While in step number 4, you are making room for non-negotiables, you also need to keep in mind your goals and the fact that you want to be successful long-term. So this is where I had to decide, okay, I want to keep the non-negotiables in our holiday season, but I'm gonna have to make some cuts. So what I did is I decided that, okay, I would make an apple pie, but it was only gonna be on Thanksgiving Day. And that's what I do. And that's what I've done for several years now, is I make the apple pie and we pig out. We have it on Thanksgiving Day, but then we're done. The next day, there are no leftovers because we eat the whole pie. Christmas cookies is a little harder. I'm the one that struggles with it, but I hold off and we make Christmas cookies as close to Christmas as possible. Then I take them all to our Christmas gathering with family and I let everybody eat them, and my children eat, I don't even know. I don't want to know. And I am not gonna lie, I'll eat 8 to 14. But I try not to bring any home and not let them linger because I will eat them. I am human, just like any of you. But that's my biggest piece of advice if you are going to make room for your non-negotiables, is to not make them all season long. Schedule them down to the special day you want to have them on, have at it, enjoy it, but then be done the next day and move on. Now, in the holiday section of my website, I do provide amazing and delicious little apple pie bites, and they're very low in calories. I have pumpkin pie bites in there and pumpkin parfaits. I have all sorts of holiday desserts in there to help you get through the holidays if you don't have a list of non-negotiables that you must have, or if you're just really on a roll and doing really good and you don't want to give in to the more decadent treats. You can try my healthy, cleaned up versions of these desserts, and they're ones you can enjoy on the weekend all season long. And my last tip number 5, is to enjoy the fullness of the holiday season. Make it a point to enjoy lots of non-food related activities. When me and my family changed our eating habits, we had to change a lot of the culture that we had as a family around food. Instead of making every single thing revolve around food, we started looking for ways to celebrate the seasons and holidays and birthdays in more ways than just surrounding it around food. So all season long, even in the cold, crisp air, we love taking picnics and going on hikes, taking walks. We love hay rides and pumpkin picking. We have our own pumpkin patch and we have our own orchards. So we just live it up. But if you live in the city, find out if there's somewhere you can drive an hour to, some farm that lets you come and pick your own pumpkins or pick your own apples and pears, and make it a huge outing and make it a tradition, something that your kids look forward to. This way you're filling your holidays with lots of memories and activities that don't just revolve around food. There's lots of things you can do and explore to bring even more enjoyment to the season. And that's it, guys. That's my 5 tips to helping you guys enjoy the fullness of the holidays without hopefully gaining any weight or drastically reducing the amount of weight you're used to gaining if you do. And if you never gain weight during the holiday season, 1, I am super jealous, but 2, you can totally implement these if you're just trying to go for overall health and wellness and get out there and enjoy some non-food related activities. Make sure you guys check out my website. I'm always posting new recipes there. Again, follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting new seasonal recipes all season long, and most importantly, keep it simple and have fun. Make sure you keep this journey about health and not just about the skinny. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.